Welcome back to the channel. Pretty hot day up here today. A lot of humidity, a lot of rain now. It's been raining off and on all day. Humidity was mad on the weekend, insane. And must be up into the mid 70s with the humidity. So she's been really hot. So welcome to the channel. My name's Rion. On this channel we look at men's mental health, my mental health journey, and looking at the topics related to mental health and how it's a jigsaw puzzle. And if it was a 1,000-piece one, it would be pretty hard to put together without the right information, wouldn't it? So I look at different aspects to consider if you are suffering from anxiety, low levels, mid levels, for example, and things you need to think about when navigating that path in order to reduce anxiety. So today I'm going to look at energy drinks, and there's a reason why. Had a fella this morning turn up to a lesson, then it was followed by a test. There was a truck, and he rocked up, good fella too, full of energy, and that's why I want to talk about energy drinks. He was full of energy, pretty chirpy, very friendly, and he had a can of guarana in his hand. It was a 250ml can, and I sort of laughed to myself, and then the lesson started. So he was a pretty sort of open-minded sort of fella. He's from up the north, so always a friendly guy. Friendly people are from the far northern Australia. He was an Indigenous fella actually to that area, but he had a taste for the energy drinks, and I later on I found out also the coffee. In fact, he sunk a cup of coffee before he got to the lesson, and just as he got out of the car, he grabbed obviously an energy drink and put that one down as we had a bit of discussion before we start the drive. So within that hour, according to him, well, I could visually see the first drink, he'd got into a cup of coffee, which contains about 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine, and then sunk the can, which has obviously more than that. Now, I didn't read the back because, I mean, he was drinking it, but I know for a fact that the 500 milligram monster contains a real, well, it packs a punch, as they say, a real punch. That's why people drink it. And of course I look at the benefits, but that 500 milligram one packs about 500 milliliter can contains roughly between 150 and 160 milligrams of caffeine, as well as quite a lot of sugar, which is about 60, I'm sweating bullets here, it's so hot, 60 grams of sugar as well. So it packs a punch, and there's other additives to it which even further packs a punch and gives you a great boost. So yeah, he was flying, and as I got to talk to him throughout that lesson, he was telling me how he was addicted to caffeine as well as sugar, and how he needed it to function. And I want to talk about that. I'll touch on the pros, but then I want to look at the cons and why, if you've got anxiety, you need to get off this stuff, or drink it once in a blue moon, i.e. once a month, because it is not healthy in large doses. See, I was saying, too much of something, okay, is always going to be detrimental to your health. It doesn't matter what type of product you're consuming. There's always a downside to that. That can be vegetables as well, for example. So I'm going to look at, firstly, the advantages of the energy drink, and more or less his story and why he was drinking it. And it more or less sort of actually touches on why most people that walk into my classes or do my other courses consume this product, because they're masking an issue. and it's usually a mental health issue, and it's usually anxiety. And this particular fella said that he suffered or had suffered from anxiety, and this was one of his coping mechanisms, was to drink caffeine, i.e. coffee, and energy drinks. And I want to discuss the reasons why fellas, you see the guys, I'm not saying the ladies don't do it, the guys, they drink these energy drinks, they drink the caffeine, they're, especially with the energy drinks, and there's always an underlying reason. And I want to touch on his story briefly and why he consumes that product. Well, the first reason he told me was obviously what most people say, it gave him a great energy boost. It got him up for it. It got him motivated. He found it hard to get himself motivated, and by using both caffeine and energy drink, which is laden with sugar, he was able to be motivated, and secondly, be mentally alert, and to be able to focus on the task at hand. And he'd also said to me that he also suffered from ADHD disorder, which is another reason he needed that product to get him up for it, get him in the groove, so to speak. So there's two benefits and why people use it as a masking agent when they are suffering from a mental health issue. Those two reasons alone are the reasons that people come up with when I get to talk to them, when I get to know them, in the lessons I teach, in the courses I run. These two alone will be why people consume this product. But of course, there are others, and I'll look at them very briefly. So the next reason, and again, people say this, is that it's quick acting. It's like caffeine. This one's a lot quicker because it's in a can. You don't have to go and order it. Don't have to wait for the barista to make your coffee. You can buy it over the counter, get straight into it, and get instant results. That instant boost of energy, that mood changer, bring you into a high, not a low. So those two alone are other reasons people consume this product. You get the people that are right into the weights. They might be using other substances as well, but they're into the weights, into the gym, and in order to get motivated to go and move heavy shit around, they drop one of these cans of guarana, for example, or a Monster drink, or or something to that fashion anyway. The Red Bull, for example, that's the one I was trying to think of. So there are four reasons why fellas, men, consume these products, because usually, but of course not always, they are masking an underlying issue. And that's why they use that as a go-to. It's legalized, it's on the shelf, it's available everywhere, but really, if you're suffering from anxiety, this is one of the last products you want to be consuming. And I'm going to talk about the reasons why now. Number one, let's look at number one. Obviously I've mentioned and touched on it. Caffeine. I want to talk about caffeine first, not sugar. So number one, caffeine. The old Monster drink, going back and using the old Monster drink for an example. Caffeine in that, 150, 160 milligrams of caffeine compared to the average cup of coffee, which is 80 to 100. Depends on what I get. It depends on which beans or what type of brand of coffee. I understand that, but this is just generally speaking, what these products contain in them. And of course, that leads me into, I'm on my way home from work, a bit of traffic today as usual. Number two, which I just mentioned, sugar. You get a heap of sugar in there, more than the average. Well, depends what you read in regards to the research. According to a lot of research, sugar, okay, is something you want to limit and keep to about 50 grams per day of intake of sugar. However, going back to the Monster, as the Monster drink as an example, it contains more than that. It contains nearly 60. Nearly contains 60. So you get, in that one can alone, you get more than the average daily dose that is prescribed by many different organizations around the world. So there's 2 reasons you need to get it out of your life. Let's look at number 3. It's number 3. Number 3 is a diuretic. Diuretic, what does that do to you? Well, it means it goes through you. Some people are more susceptible to others in regards to the frequency that they need to run off to the toilet. I know with caffeine or alcohol in the past, it really affects me, and I'll be rushing to the toilet. So it's a diuretic, and what does a diuretic do? It dehydrates you. So that leads me into the next point. I think it's number 4, right? Number 4. Because you go on the toilet a lot, you're releasing minerals. You're losing a lot of vitamins and minerals. For example, magnesium. And I've touched on that before, how important magnesium is for your heart, for correct brain function, and also muscle function. So that's another issue with dehydration, going to the toilet, and loss of vitamin and minerals consuming this product. Let's go on to the next one. The next issue when consuming this product, dental hygiene. You drink this and consume this often, most days, over a period of time, there's a chance you'll have tooth decay. And that's something we all don't want. So this product, because of the high sugar content, as well as other additives, lead to, or can lead to, dental decay, i.e. teeth problems. Okay, let's move on. Of course, the last one. Well, there's many more. It's just the ones I can think about on the spot as I go home. As I said, I make these on the way home, or make them on the weekend when I get a chance, because I'm pretty busy. But I wanted to get them out there because it is a passion of mine to try and help people. So it's very important that I send this message out there when we look at all aspects of trying to reduce anxiety and getting your headspace in good order, so to speak. So the last, well, I could probably put 2 in one here. Firstly, it's costly, and if you're consuming a lot of this product, it's going to eat into your income, eat into your funds, eat into your bank account, and then also it's addictive. People get hooked on this stuff, and that's the whole idea of the companies that make these products. They use a lot of strategies, brilliant strategies, and one of course is the additives. Others is the labeling, the marketing, how it looks, how it appeals. You know, they sponsor great sporting events. Some of these products, okay, they do. You know, you see it on the UFC. You know, guys holding a can of Monster. They probably don't even drink the stuff. I don't blame them. Who knows? That's none of my business. But so those are the disadvantages. Of course, there's a lot more. But I just want to sort of finish up on the note with this particular fella that I was teaching today, and how he has been hooked on that, and probably in his own words, he said he was pretty much unconscious. He wasn't conscious of the fact, or hadn't checked the fact, or hadn't been educated on the fact that this product, taken in large doses or continuously drunk every day, is just not good for your health. So, and we discussed that together, and he actually said to me, and he passed his test, which was fantastic, that he was, after that discussion I had, he was going to make a real attempt, a real effort to reduce it, because that's the best way to go. It's pretty hard to go cold turkey and just, you know, I'm going to stop drinking this from tomorrow. Most people can't do that, especially if they've been into that product for a long time. You got to chip away, you got to reduce it, just like I did with the coffee, and, you know, go from five cups to 1 cup. And in his case, I just said to him, you need to think about, you know, just going to, you know, 1 can a day, and then reducing it to 1 every 2nd day, then maybe 1 every 4th, and maybe twice a week, and then just trying to get it out of your life. But I mean, that's his decision. He's old enough, and now has a bit of information that might give him a little bit. He might be wise enough now to get off that. But yeah, so that's energy drinks wrapped up. Pros and cons. A little bit of a side story with that fella I met today and taught today, but he's just one of many that come into my classrooms at 7 o'clock in the morning, or rock up to the other lessons that we provide with plant and trucks, etc. You know, with one of these products. And when you get into their life, when they relax a bit, get to know you, they'll openly tell you that they have a problem with this product. They enjoy the product, but they know in many cases, but not all, maybe this particular fella didn't know, he wasn't educated enough, but this product, long-term effects and outcomes are not going to be good. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that up. I know I'm waffling on again. I usually do in the last few minutes. On the way home, nearly home. It's been a lot of rain today, or showers, heavy showers. Humidity's off the chart. Okay, so until the next video, think about what you're consuming, chip away at your mental health plan, especially in regards to your diet, and start eliminating these things that add to anxiety, nice and slowly, because going cold turkey is quite hard, and I know I was never the one to do that. Okay, until next time. Stay safe, get yourself into a good headspace, and peace out.